Okay. Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to learn in disaster management is disaster preparedness. Now let's understand why disaster preparedness. So the better you are prepared for disaster, the better your response will be during the emergency to deal with losses, to reduce the furthermore losses and protect yourself and protect your community and people around, right? So that's why disaster preparedness is important, right? Now let's understand in context of how do we prepare ourselves with the disaster management cycle in uh, you know uh, application, right? So let's start with mitigation. So first of all, mitigation planning actually. So for a preparedness stage, we need to have a mitigation plan. That is, first of all, we need to have a hazard analysis, reduce the hazard and risk or vulnerability of those regions, reduce the vulnerability reduction has to be there. Then in preparedness you need to being what you are analyzed, that is what is hazard, what are the risk areas, what are the vulnerable sectors, and how to reduce it. You can actually implement it. Here is, that is, risk assessment plans, arrangements, trainings, exercise, mock drills, education programs, all can be you know uh, pursued in when we are preparing for disaster management. A disaster emergency is like when the disaster strikes, and during that emergency situation, what how you are reacting, that is how it shows how well you were prepared. So if suppose you did not have any training, did not have any knowledge about the disaster existing there, your risk areas, the elements of risk, the elements of vulnerability, you will be falling prey to more losses compared to a community or an area who are well aware of their risk areas, the elements of risk, the elements of vulnerability, and they had training to reduce it, so that at the time of an emergency it will not be as grave as it can turn out to be, right? So disaster preparedness is very important to curtail down the losses, right? uh, in response is that it is basically a stabilization of the situation. How you stabilize it, how you are handling it, how rescue operations and search operations are preventing lives from actually saving the lives, preventing the losses. And then there is the next portion is recovery, where you have rehabilitation and reconstruction, where you rehabilitate the victims and give them assistance to reconstruct and restart their livelihood. That is in the recovery stage. uh, See, what happens here is in the pre-disaster risk assessment, mitigation and prevention action, and preparedness are all part of pre-disaster response. In during disaster response is that uh, warning and evacuation that you can disseminate, like for example in case of tsunami or cyclone, you can disseminate a warning and evacuation before the people can get in and trapped with that type of hazard. Then you in even then if the hazard has taken place, then there will be some amount of losses or something that will be lost. So in that phase you activate your response mechanism, where you go for search and rescue activities and re-establish those areas back to the normalcy. Then in post disaster management phase, it is of two types basically, slow and second one is fast. Like the slow or the short term response will be rehabilitating the victims, but the long term response will be reconstructing the livelihood of the victims. That is going to be a long term shots. Taking this, there's a recovery action has taken after any emergency to reduce and resume the normal operations. Mitigation is for effort to reduce the effect of, of risk, you know uh, that is, gross of, hazards. And then you have preparedness. Preparedness is like action taken prior to an, emergency of any facility response and remote readiness. Then you have continuity. Continuity is action taken to, protect the campus mission from uh, you know disrupting the continuity and influence of all, for planning and phase of the emergency management. Then you have response, where you activate yourself at the time of the crisis. Okay, just hold on. Okay, so continuing this, we have, then we go to the next thing is, uh, we have understood and defined what is disaster, enumerate the aims and objective of disaster preparedness. Then we have to identify the different types of disaster, describing the, what you call disaster management. Discuss levels of disasters, and various levels of disaster here. And also, what you called explain the phases of disaster management. And recognize different role of, nurses in disaster management. Explain the disaster drills, and so on, right? So taking this as, the, scale of, going further, how preparedness has to be implemented, right? So disaster being explained as it is an, catastrophic event which has an overwhelming response, and disruption to life and property, destruction of nature or environment. It is all part of disaster. So there is an existence of, hazard always, but it only turns into disaster once there is a certain degree of losses. Okay, so let's briefly classify the, various types of disaster. That is, in natural disaster we have meteorological disaster, topological disaster, tectonic disaster, or, biological disaster. Meteorological disaster is like, uh, weather phenomena, whether you're having rainstorms, or, cold wave, hot wave, uh, drought, uh, all these things, floods due to a cloud burst. They're all part of meteorological disaster. Then you have topological disasters like earthquakes, landslides, landslides, avalanches, mud flow. All right, all part of topological disaster where it works on the surface. Then you have tectonic disaster, which is, originating from the ground, like earthquakes. Okay, it is originating from ground, volcanic eruptions, so it is coming from underground. Then you have geological disaster, biological disaster, that is, the diseases, the endemic, the pandemic we have learned earlier. So that is what, naturally coming. Now, classification of man-made disaster, that is warfare, civil disaster, accidents, and technological failures are some of the classification of disasters. The major natural disasters are, what are the major natural disasters? We have floods, we have cyclones, drought, earthquakes as major natural disasters, and minor natural disasters are cold waves, thunderstorms, heat waves, sorry, mudslides, and storms. All right. Then we have, s- major man-made disaster, that is fire, accidents, epidemic, deforestation, pollutions, basically war, all are part of major man-made disaster. Then you have minor man-made disaster, that is road or train accidents, food poisoning, industrial disaster, and environmental pollution. Level of disasters are like level 1, the disaster is considered as a first degree. Disaster is only considered when there is considerably a massive disaster which is involved, with a high level of damage and severe impact over the affected area. Then in second degree, or the second level disaster, considered a moderate level of disaster, where the local and community resources has to be mobilized to manage the situation. Then you have third degree disaster, where it is considered a minor disaster. These are involved in minimum level of damages, and a local level of authorities and action plan can be handled with. So, aims and objective of disaster preparedness is to refer to the measures taken to prepare for a reduce the effect of the disaster. The disaster preparedness is a continuous and integrated part of disaster management. Now, objectives is to increase the efficiency and effectiveness and impact of disaster emergency response mechanism at community and national and federal level. Then you have various objectives like strengthening community based preparedness, developing activities that are useful for both addressing the everyday risk community face and responsibility of disaster situations, and so on. The strategy of disaster preparedness is that hazard, risk, and vulnerability assessment you have to do. Second is response mechanism and strategies. Third is preparedness plan. Fourthly is coordination. Fifthly, it is information management. Sixth is early warning system. Then you have resource mobilization, public education training and rehearsal, community based disaster preparedness. Okay. Then we have hazard, risk, and vulnerability assessment. Uh, this is identify the characteristics and the frequency of the potential severity of the hazard a community face. Then you have identify the particular geological areas and community that are most subsequently vulnerable to those hazards. Identify the main score of community population, infrastructure, housing, service, and so on. So other would also be affected by the specific type of hazard anticipated on how they might be affected, right? So the ability of those sectors with uh, sectors to withstand and cope with the effect of the hazard this phenomenon. Now, response mechanism and strategy is like it's a vacuum process. Search and rescue operations, including plans of training them. Assessment team has to be important. Produces acting, distribute, prioritize the selection, and to have active preparedness planning is disaster management planning, involving identifying original resources, determining role and responsibility, developing political and procedure, and planning preparedness activity aim to ensure timely disaster preparedness and effective emergency resources. Okay. No, coordination. We need to have a coordination among organizations. Just a minute. Okay. So continuing this, now organizations, civil defense and government emergency structures, then fire brigade, health department and clinics, Red Cross societies, international and national NGOs and other stakeholders are part of the coordinations. The information management, the disaster preparedness and response depend upon gathering, analysis, and acting on timely and accurate information before hazard or early warning information during disaster assessment and after disaster progress, that is post disaster recovery, right? So we have early warning system that proposes of early system to detect and forecast the if necessary, when necessary, like forecasting when you are going to have, like when is the ocean uh, let's talk about a cyclone, right? What happens in cyclone is, first it there's a depression, tropical depression, which originates in somewhere in the ocean, right? Then that tropical depression converts into cyclone when the ocean water is warm enough while churning, while the wind is churning it. So what happens is, it is basically cyclone is a way of distributing the energy, and higher the temperature of the ocean water is, the higher the faster the energy dissemination will happen, and it will move faster. So like I have told you earlier also, like in past few years, due to a high rise of ocean temperature, it has given rise to uh, a phenomena where your tropical depression is very fast converting into uh, tropical cyclone, and cyclone too, of that of a very high extent of severity, if we talk about. Okay. So early warning system in this case can be a very beneficial thing, like how fast a tropical depression is turning into a cyclone, and how fast the winds are moving and it is going to hit the land, and what are the areas that is it is going to affect. So with this early warning system assimilated to the areas which is going to be prone to be the assault of cyclones in those areas, you can evacuate people from well in advance. You can identify, put them into shelters and provide and collect other inventories, when if it requires for assistance. You can also before the by studying the previous but cyclone hitting on those areas, you can also predict or make assumptions that what type of buildings that you need to build to that can have a more resistant against the winds, right? So it's an example. So early warning system is, the purpose of early warning system is to forecast and detect of any such event or extreme event before it hits the uh, and causes losses. So early warning information comes from a number of sources, that is meteorological officer, Ministry of Health, agriculture, indigenous resources, then media resources, and increasing from the internet to early warning system. Resource mobilization is when national society should be developed, strategies, agreement, and procedure for mobilizing and uh, acquiring the emergency fund, supply, and equipments in the event of disaster. So, preparedness plan should be more of policy for acquisition of distributions of funds used for outside the equipment services of an emergency fund which is required. Like, there are many things that you require, which is needed to be used at the time of disaster, but that may not have it. So you can put it into these a miscellaneous expenditure or in like that, and for catering for the new equipments and techniques into the disaster management. Now, public education and training and rehearsals are also very important part in imbibing the knowledge into the children as well as the people around them. So, like, if you imbibe certain basic ethics and knowledge and into the children, and by their rehearsal and training, they will be a better resilient, because, as you know, in general terms, we talk about whenever there is a disaster, the weaker section, that means women and children and old, has to be evacuated first, has to be treated first, has to be attended first, right? So, if your youth, if the school population or the school children are educated about various hazards they are living with, and for how to deal with various hazards, like in foreign forest accident, sorry, in like a fire accident, how you are supposed to behave, how you are supposed to exit the buildings, how to use extinguishers or hose. So that can be part of public education. You through your children, you're teaching your their family as well. So train, and this that becomes a public education. Then you have training and rehearsal practices, where you training response team and rehearsal of the emergency response scenario happens here. Now, community based disaster preparedness is like local population in a desert stricken areas for the first time to respond to disaster, right? Now, they are usually involved in such um, rescue activities, as well as involved in emergency treatment and relief for their families and friends and neighborhoods. Okay. Now, phases. Now, these are the phases we have already discussed. The phases of disaster, that is pre-disaster phase and post-disaster phase, and then uh, recovery phase, right? Plan is to have more resilient and strong community or individual to deal with the disaster. So the aim of disaster plan is to provide prompt and effective medical care to the maximum possible in order to minimize the morbidity and mobility. Then you have second thing is that you need to have optimal prepare the staff, optimally prepare the staff and international resources for effective performance during disaster. To make a community aware of the sequential steps that could be taken at an individual or by an organizational level. Okay. So disaster management committee, like medical superintendent of director, additional medical superintendent, nursing superintendent, chief medical officer, head of the department. Then you have radiology, blood, security. Even securities are there in the hospital, transportation and sanitation. That comprises of disaster management committee at the local level. Okay. Then we have rated in responses to team, that is the medical superintendent will identify various specialists, nurses and other pharmacological staff to respond with a short notice depending upon what type of disaster it is. Like all these activities, like in corona's time, you can associate this topic very easily. Like various specialities are that nurses and the pharmaceutical staff respond to with very short notice. Within short notice they respond very quiet. So the list of members and the other telephone number should be displayed on the disaster control room panel. Okay. Then you have information and communication. What happens is that disaster control team could be responsible for collecting information and also coordinating and disseminating the information about the disaster situation to the concerned population, right? Then you have logical support system that is the initiative in um, uh, equipments, IV sets, disposal needles, like basic medical needles, like for movement of the medical team. You will have a basic medical needs and medicines to be carried to the field. Now, elements of disaster management plan will be chain of authority, line of command, route and mode of command, and transport, mobilization, warning system, rescue and recovery, triage, treatment, তারপরে হলো ও triage টা কি নিয়েছে? Okay. So like triage treatment, then you have support of victims and familiar care of dead bodies, then disaster worker rehabilitation and so on. So you have so many things to be juggling with dealing while dealing with disaster management. Now pre-disaster risk reduction is that before the disaster happens you need to reduce the risk of losses. So how do you do that? The readiness for disaster, that is reduce the the losses or the vulnerable sectors, the community, the local government and civil division. They can plan for hospitals, disaster planning, evacuation planning, order of emergency vehicles to move, communication, establishing an alternative communication system, all part of being how you are planning for it. Then you have triage, like what are the benchmarks that you will going to ensure the immediate medical attention is needed in or whether it is a life threatening situation or not, expecting the care of the patient through a systematic initial statement. Now this ensures that the patients or the victims are prioritized for the treatment in accordance to the severity of the conditions. This will also reduce the morbidity through an early medical intervention into the emergency state. Now, objective of triage is that it improves public relations with communicating appropriate information to the friends and relatives to whom accompany a patient. Somebody can accompany the patients also, improve in patient inflow with emergency department and other disaster management situations, provide supervised learning for appropriate personals. Now you have principles of triage. So like every patient should be received triage by appropriate skills with health and care professionals. This triage is basically is marginalized division and may must involve collective planning. The triage process should not be used delayed in a delivering of an effective clinical care, right? So it has to be on time, and it has to be based on certain principles. The colors of triage are red, green, yellow, and black. Red being the patient for more priority, that means he is gravely injured or maybe morbidly injured. So those who are gravely injured falls under yellow, sorry, red tagging system, that is triage. Then you have yellow tagging system, that is signal medium priorities, that is uh, the person is injured but can be taken care or can be given treatment in within a short period of time but not immediately. But red is for an immediate medical assistance and care. Green being indicating that they the patients uh, are not gravely injured, are injured but not gravely injured, and those injuries can be treated or addressed later on, once the influx of the mass casualty dies down. Then you have black, that indicates that morbid patients are taken into black ribbons and black conditions. Now trial system is being like, you have to prioritize the things, that is what is first important. Like in triage, the first thing is that important is that whether the patient is conscious or not. If very gravely injured, if the patient is conscious, that patient is to be moved immediately, compared to the patient who is unconscious and is showing no forms of life left in that patient. So that patient might be tagged as black because there is no motion of life shown in the patient. So the basic thing is that golden hour is within the 24 hours. Immediate or high priorities are has to be set. Delayed or medium priorities has to be identified. Minor or minimal ambulatory patients should be taken. Then you have to have expected or at least priority regions to be safeguarded. Now disaster management plan in now this is the internal picture. If you can see, this is a picture that shows that uh, you know uh, how a structure, that is a vulnerable structure, can be a very dangerous situation. So it has a you can also triage or color code the buildings that might fall off. So internal hospital disaster like fire, building collapse, and terrorism are part of internal institutional disaster, whereas the external disaster concludes with earthquakes, flood, hailstorms, then you have heat waves, and so on. uh just a minute. Okay. Now objective of you know uh, hospital disaster plan is that it preparing the staff, community awareness, training them, and motivating the staff towards the patient. Then you have to carry out a mock drill, so that it also shown into various platforms that you are performing something, and you have documentation of plans, and making the hospital staff vary about the variation step from the plan itself. uh, Disaster management committee, that is the doctors of hospital, HODs, all heads of the departments. uh, then you have nursing superintendent, a hospital administrator, who presentive is a representative of the staff there. And function of either the function of the disaster management is either community based. So to prepare a hospital disaster, this can be planned for hospital orientation. So more prepared to department planning to support for the hospitals. uh, like assign duties to the staff, establishment of criterias, emergency areas, conducting supervision or evaluating the training program to then you have a successive the mock of successive mock drills that has to be done, or training that has to be practiced upon the plan as a needed arise through or organized community and awareness program through mass media, right? Now, roles and functions. Disaster co-coordinator, that is the roles and functions are organizing community assessment as planet. You have already done this, so this is like assessing the duties, the development of of staff, taking key decisions, administrator, departmental, and head of nursing. Superintendent can also be curtailed. In here, we are basically talking about the medical team. Similarly, the such teams can also be disseminated from police, where they will administer. Then you have departmentalized specialization, where there will be a department who will be specialized in dealing with human psychology, and there will be a department who will be what do you call be or rendered into a more like approachable way of medical fraud areas, and how you are handling the mass casualties. The important is that the accidents in emergency department, operating department, and critical care unit, radiological department, and laboratory blood banks has to be there. Then support areas, that is laundry system, dietary department, housekeeping, medical records, public relations, communication, transportation, mortuary. Then you have medical store centers and engineering departments. Okay. So then you have support areas. This slide is not changing. Okay, now we have drills, mock drills, right? So the more you practice on mock drills and drills, the better your response will be during disaster. So it can be fire drill, it can be earthquake drill, it can be drill related to other disaster, depending on how prone you are to these. Yeah. Now in recent times, like in today's news only, if you have seen, there is a massive flood in Bihar, right? So in Tarai region of Bihar, there is a massive flood which is happening, and uh, pushing people over the edges. And if you see the pictures, they are, you know, water inundating everywhere. So in this case, there will be a team of mobile team of medical team which will be disseminated. There will be a team of rescuers who will be disseminated to rescue people from far-fetched areas where there is a higher risk of inundation. So similarly, there are teams who are disseminating food to the stranded and victims of those regions. So I would urge all of you to go into the news channel DD News for more, I will say, because Doordarshan News is the news without any, any jargons for that. Say, private news channels are too loud to be followed. So I would suggest go to DD News, follow the news about the ongoing disaster that is happening all over the country, following up the floods, and there are also landslides which is happening. Then Himachal Pradesh, Mandi region, that region is also on high alert, where Satluj river is running very high with water, carrying water in that region. So they are also on high alert. There are about 9 in the morning news. There were about 9 people who were stranded and lost. So there is a search and rescue teams disseminated for stranded and lost people. But in these areas, in hilly areas where you have narrow roads, one way to go and one way to come, and the heavy rainfall causing landslides and road blockage, the logistics flow will be also interrupted, and hence it will cause a more difficult for the assistance and response to reach. So we should have been more prepared, that there is a upcoming monsoon season, so how we can go there. So there must be already a plan, which a mitigated plan or a administered plan which is there. Okay, if we cannot go reach the logistics, send the important equipments through road, let's fly it. So helicopters are taken in assistance from army and air force to provide the what you call relief equipments to those stranded areas. uh, like Leh and Ladakh region are also connected to these roads where the important supplies of army goes to that. So you need an assistance there, right? So all these things has to be taken in consideration, and if you are prepared well for it, so your what do you call response and rescue and saving important lives will be also reduced. Okay, so all of you go to your LMS and please take your quiz. Okay, have a nice day.